David episode recently on I don't know if you watched that guy. He's absolutely crazy to some extent. To Curb Your Enthusiasm. He had one episode where these two guys have this secret word. They're studying yoga or some other thing, and the one guy asks if he can borrow his word, you know, his mantra. I forget that he chants with this mantra, and so he gives this guy. He didn't want to give it to him, but the guy plays on his pity to give him his mantra, and then the guy is chanting his mantra, and it's doing good things for him. And then Larry David, who's the narrator, he wants it back, and the guy won't give it to him back, and they have this huge argument of, give me my word back, my life's rotten now that I don't have my mantra. And then he finally gives it, comes and he won't give it back, and then finally he does. Because someone hears him chanting this thing in Hindu or some language, and it's some curse word like screw you or something like that, and the guy punches him or something like that. You take your word back, you take your word back, I don't want your word anymore, or whatever it is. Anyway, it's quite funny. It reminds me of this little episode here about you can't have someone else's word, you have to have your own word, you have to have your own mantra, you have to have your own language. So it doesn't just rely on one culture. How many saw that episode that I just mentioned? Oh, you and I, right? Who else? You, me, and who else? Funny, wasn't it? You're laughing. It was good, wasn't it? I mean, you got to have a taste for that program. Yeah. It's not for everybody, is it? But, I mean, I can't watch it anymore. I watched around 10 or 15 episodes, so they were all very funny. But after a while, it's just too much. No, I can't take them anymore, but the first 10 or 15 are good, aren't they? They really are. I mean, you sort of like, and this guy is the guy who did Seinfeld. He was the guy that the character George was based on, but he never got credit for Seinfeld, even though he did most of the writing and he produced it. So he kind of got, excuse the expression, pissed at Seinfeld for not giving him any, not getting any, public adulation and exposure, so he started his own program on cable TV, I guess it is, HBO. It's called Curb Your Enthusiasm. You can watch the back episodes if you get HBO, Curb Your Enthusiasm. And really, I mean, it's a little bit off color at times, and it's not for everybody's taste, but it's crazy for about 10 or 15 episodes, so you can't take anymore, right? I mean, it is really, your jaw drops open in some of the episodes. They're like, they had them up, they had, what were those awards they just had the other day? Huh? Yeah, they had them up for the Emmys, but it's so off, establishment mainstream stuff that they don't ever win in the categories, but they always come pretty close because everyone realizes it's, whether you like them or not, it's fairly genius stuff, even though it's overwhelming, isn't it? It drives you mad. But anyway, that's about not teaching someone your song or your word. Because these songs are a link between me and the protector, exactly what that episode was about. I have one episode where Larry goes to the wrong place and I think he ate the baby Jesus cookies or something like that, and the other people are angry because they baked these cookies for, was it, Christmas or Easter or something like that. And he said he didn't know you weren't supposed to eat the baby Jesus and something like that. It's really quite funny. I mean, I do recommend it. It's a killer. No one is that. And he has another one where he's his mom has died, and she's got a tattoo on her, so it's in a Jewish graveyard, and these things are, graven images are forbidden by Orthodox Jewish law. So they find this tattoo on her, and he didn't realize his mom had a tattoo on her bum. Apparently she'd done it on a lark when she was at Atlantic City or someplace like that, and so the rabbis make him put her in, bury her in a part of the graveyard that's for like sort of questionable type people, not totally, So he and his friends go out at night and dig up the body, and because they know that their mom wouldn't want to be there. It's a killer episode. That's a good one. So there are a few like that are not to everyone's taste, but and there's another one, baptism one. He really does take off on these religious. They're trying to baptize somebody, and he thinks he sees them in a river, and he thinks they're trying to drown the person. And he runs in and tries to save the guy. It's a killer. It's I do recommend it up to a point. That is, 15 episodes will do it. Okay, enough about that. So, a little bit of contemporary culture then. Let's say, if someday he accepts you, he will tell you his name. That name will be for you alone. He will either call him loudly or say it quietly, like the mantra I just told you about. Perhaps you will tell his name to Jose, who knows? What's wrong to use the name I'm talking about him? The guy never learned. You have seen his eyes, haven't you? You can't fool around with the protector. That's why I can't get over the fact that he chose to play with you, because you're so stupid. How can he be a protector when he hurts some people? The answer is simple. You can't get anywhere with this guy. He's a protector. He's available to anyone who seeks him. But it isn't true that everyone in the world is available. No, back to the old question. No, it's not true. The Allied powers are available only to the Brujos. So the Brujos can get the Allies, but anyone can approach Mescalito. But why does he hurt some people? Not everyone likes Mescalito. They all seek him with the idea of profiting without doing any work. You see, you're just more selfish and you don't want to, pay your dues. Well, your encounter is going to be horrifying. What happens when he accepts a man completely? He appears to that man as light, you see. And that's the usual light experience all mystics talk about. Whatever culture you go to, whenever people have a vision or a visionary experience, it's always light, overwhelming light, and it's the same thing here. When a man had won this kind of acceptance, Mescalito is a constant. That's obviously for Don Juan, not for you and me, probably. He never changes after that. Perhaps when you meet him again, he will be light, and someday he may even take you flying.